Hello, my name is Renee. This is part two of my software engineering video. Today, I will continue part two right here. So, in part two, I will be explaining software engineering versus software programming. Well, in both software engineering and software programming, they have different responsibilities. Um, and also in software engineering, um, if you work as a team, software engineering, they work as a big group in general compared to programming, which it works in small groups. You don't really need a lot of people to work when it comes to programming. But in software engineering, you need a big group, which you need communication and collaboration for software engineering. And I guess you can say the same thing for programming as well. Also, I'll talk about the scope in software engineering. It allows you to focus on management and the entire software as well and development. But and the difference of programming and software programming, it allows you to focus on writing, testing, and debugging the code for specific features or components. When I say bugs, I say like for example, let's say you're programming your own thing and it's not working. You can go back and check to see what's wrong with your own code, and you can keep testing it until the way how you want it works. So if you're having trouble with it, you can ask your small group, and you guys can work on it as a group. And next thing I'll be talking about is the cost of software engineering. Well, maintenance. Software engineering, it requires an ongoing maintenance like such as bugs, bug fixes, updates into remain functional and secured. We want to make sure any bugs in our software is always cleared out to make sure it's working properly and secured. Make sure it's not bad and it's always functioning correctly. Making sure there's nothing going on with it and etc. On hosting, the ongoing cost for services like cloud services and database and necessary to keep the software running. When I say database, I am talking about how you'll be able to keep your own data in your software and to make sure it is running properly. Because if it's not running properly, you could also have a potentially lose your own data and cloud services. So like anything you save on your software, it can be erased if it's not running properly. And if you're gonna have your own company, you will have to have training employees, which in software engineering, you will want to have your employees make sure they have time and resources to learn how to use a new software. So like when I say software, let's say we're talking about AI. You want to make sure your own company, your own employees, they know how to use AI, for an example, and we need to give them time to learn how to develop to it. And another thing I'll be talking about is security monitoring. Well, you always want to make sure you have a good security system, and you can check and potentially see if it needs any updates like regulations in general. Because if it needs any updates and you don't update it, it's not gonna be a good thing for you in the long run. And you always want to make sure everything is running properly and all that. Another thing I'll be talking to you guys about is key challenges in the software engineering and um, software testing, which is a quality that is constant challenge, complemented by the needs to test for performance, security, and functionality, and often by tight deadline. When I say tight deadline, you have to meet at the certain deadline to able to get the final product done. It might be hard, so that's why I added challenges as well. And you also got to make sure the software is tested good and make sure it's in good quality as well. And you got to make sure the security is secured as well to make sure it doesn't get stolen and all that. Another thing with software engineering, another challenges for that is collaboration. When you work as a big whole group, you want to make sure you guys are able to collab together and work on things together and make sure you guys have good ideas, such as design. Make sure you guys design the products as well as a collab as a whole. And other engineers is it'll be difficult due to the different work styles as well. Everyone has a different work style. I mean, I guess everyone will be the same as well, but we'll all be able to somehow, if we have different work styles, we'll all somehow come in the middle and try to our best and agree to something, which will make us design things. And the goals and the rise of distribution teams and also communication as a whole. Communication is always the number one thing in software engineering because if you don't communicate, you won't get anything done. And we always want to make sure, as a whole big group, as a big whole team, we will always want to make sure we are communicating and making sure we all agree to certain things because if we don't, there'll be problems and we don't want problems. This will be the last part of my video. I would like to say thank you guys for tuning in for part two. I will also be uploading more videos, so please stay tuned to my channel. Thank you guys for watching.